In this video, I'm going to show you how to write an inequality based on a given graph. So the first thing that I'm going to do is show you how to kind of set up your equation. And normally how we graph a line is the form y equals mx plus b. Now the only difference with this scenario here is that our symbol is not going to be an equal to symbol for an inequality graph. What we're going to do is use a greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to symbol instead of this equal sign here. Now I noticed that the first function that I have is a horizontal line, and so what I actually want to do is draw what is called a horizontal line. They have zero slope and they are y equal to a number. Well, in this case we're not going to have equal to that number on our y-axis, which is 2. We want to use one of these four symbols: greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Now in a previous video I talked about how the symbol less than and then less than and equal to would be used when there is shading underneath the line. And I also talked about when you have a dashed line, you're going to use strictly greater than or less than. And solid lines have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, those two symbols there. And then I should have mentioned here, but shading above the line would be greater than. And so I'm going to use this kind of to help me pick what symbol I'm going to use. Now if there's shading underneath the line, I want to use a less than or a less than or equal to, so one of these two symbols. And then basically look at your line and see if it's dashed or solid. If it's a dashed line, what we have, you're going to use less than. And so that's our equation for this function. And so I'll just kind of repeat a couple of those directions. Less than, greater than for dashed lines, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to for solid lines. And if there's shading below, you're going to use less than or equal to, and if there's shading above, greater than or equal to. So you're going to kind of pick between those four. Now the next line I notice is going down, slightly going down. So think of that form y equals mx plus b. I'm going to leave a space for my symbol here. And now let's see, I'm going to find my slope. From one point to the next point, so going from left to right, we go down 1 and right 4. So my slope is down 1, right 4, or negative 1/4. The slope is the number that goes in front of the x here. And then the b is where you start. Here we started at positive 3. Now I notice that shading is going on above the line, so I'm going to use a greater than or a greater than or equal to. Now if it's a dashed line and I see dashes in here, I'm going to use the greater than then. So my next graph for that y equals mx plus b format, I'm going to leave a space for that symbol here. I notice this is a solid line, so I'm going to be using one of those. And let's track my slope. From left to right, we go up 2, right 3. So my slope is going to be 2/3. And that's going to be the number in front of your x. And then the number that we start with here on your y-axis is down 1, 2, 3, or minus 3. Now if the shading is below, I want to use less than or equal to. And I see that I have a solid line, so I'm going to use the equal to part. So less than or equal to symbol there. I have 3 more in our notes. Maybe you want to pause the video and try these 3 on your notebook and then check your work. So here for our equation, y equals mx plus b. I'm going to use kind of a little space here for what my symbol I'm going to pick is going to be. I notice we start here at negative 4, and then I'm going to track my slope. Now this one looks a little bit harder because they didn't give me exact points, but it kind of looks like it crosses here. Does it? Oh, it looks like it crosses there too. Okay, let's track. Up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3. Left 3, down 1, left 3, down 1. It looks like it is. So we're going up 1, right 3, so 1/3 for our slope, and then minus 4. Now the symbol that I'm going to use. If we shade above the line, I want to use greater than or equal to. So I know it's going to be greater than, or also have a line underneath. Now check, does that look like it's a very solid line? No, I see dashes in there, so no line underneath of that greater than symbol. Okay, now here for letter E. Looks like we're starting here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive 5. Now I'm going to leave a space for my symbol, but let's track our slope. So it looks like it's hitting here. Looks like it's kind of going down, down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Now my shading is underneath the line, so it's kind of hard to tell, but here is greater than, like 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's less than, -7, -6, so I know it's less than because we shaded underneath the line where numbers go smaller on the y-axis. Is that line solid? Yes, it is, so I'm going to put that symbol there. Now I'm going to fix this because we don't really need to say down 2 over 1, so I would rewrite this as just -2x plus 5, and that's how I would leave my answer here. And then for number 6 here, my sixth example, letter F, looks like we're starting at a +2 on the y-axis. And let's see if I can count my slope. Up 1. Looks like that hits almost perfectly right there. Not quite there. So let's maybe track. Goes up 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's track this way as well. Down 2 over 5. All right, looks like it's going up 2 over 5, so 2/5. And let's see, the shading is clearly above the line, so we want greater than. Is it solid? Do we add a solid line underneath? No, I see dashes, so I'm going to leave strictly greater than for that symbol. So y is greater than 2/5 x plus 2. Stay tuned because I'm going to do another couple videos with some real-world application problems, and I got 2 of those, so stay tuned. That'll be next.